Well, welcome to the final module for 2014. And today we're going to be, in the lectures this week and the reading, going to be learning about scientific adaptive management. And this combination of management and scientific approaches is a very valuable tool for environmental science. And it's really a cognitive tool, an approach. It combines a lot of the work we've seen on using models for understanding the environment and human impact, and applies them into a management context. Scientific adaptive management is very useful for addressing sustainability issues, because the point of this form of management is to be able to make decisions and implement activities that improve the environment but also decrease uncertainty in the future. It has to do both of those. One of the things we're going to see that's very important in our ability to manage the environment is how we deal with thresholds. Now, threshold is something where as you increase the stress, you end up with, instead of just incremental increase in the impact, you end up with all of a sudden a big change in the system. And to manage environmental systems that are around a threshold is very tricky. Even scientific projects can push the system over a threshold and cause really a lot of damage. So we have to be very careful when we're near thresholds, and conversely, when we're on the other side of a threshold, we might have to employ huge amounts of effort to get a system to recover. An ecosystem that's been damaged might take much more effort to get it to recover because it's on the wrong side of a threshold. And finally, I'm going to put this into the larger picture at the end of the narrated lecture. I'm going to put this in the larger picture of how science and policy and governance all go together. And this is particularly interesting for the United States, where we have a democratic form of government that goes all the way down to the local areas. And in order to implement a large project such as cleaning up a whole ecosystem or knocking out a dam, you go across many different government agencies, government groups of the public, and this form of management is a real challenge to democracy, because it requires a highly educated public in order to make these decisions. And there's always the threat that we're going to flip over into some sort of technocracy where a few highly technical people make decisions that impact resource allocation and use for the entire public. So this is a very interesting area where we have to remember what science is and what the limits to science, what the limits are to science, and what the role of scientists and citizen science is in our democracy. So it's an exciting week. I know it's the end. I'm going to try to make many of these examples be I'm going to try to make many of these examples be reviewed, so that you get to look at the material that we've had in the past and look at it again as a review. All right, so thank you, and we'll get going.